Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Ken Rogers. On this week's program, we get introduced to Xochitl Torres Small, Undersecretary for Rural Development at the USDA. We'll learn about some of those programs that are available and see how many times it takes me to get her name right. We also have features from Kansas Corn, Kansas Wheat, and the Kansas Farm Bureau, along with a weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association and market information from Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, kfb.org. And the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat, online at kswheat.com.
And agriculture news from agview.net. Despite the surge in COVID cases and the complication that it brings, the U.S. economy continues to thrive. Workers are steadily returning to the labor force, and the unemployment rate currently under 4%, and consumers still spending confidently. Now, until the Omicron surge subsides, the biggest economic risk will be millions of workers who report sick or hampered already beleaguered supply chains. The impacts on food and agriculture sectors will vary significantly by product, will generally be less severe than earlier in the pandemic. That, according to a new quarterly report out from CoBank's Knowledge Exchange Division. As of late December, the U.S. had regained 84% of the jobs it lost since the pandemic began, equating to a deficit of 3.6 million fewer workers compared to early 2020. The supply chain outlook has improved due to more workers in warehousing and transportation, and since May 2020, the U.S. has added 800,000 jobs in the two sectors, eclipsing the pre-COVID number of jobs by 3%. The report goes on to say that the labor market inches closer to full employment, and any last argument for the Federal Reserve to maintain its highly accommodating monetary policy seem to be losing their merit, it says. Now, with the market now anticipating a sea change in monetary policy, the tightening of financial conditions has begun. And a state forest official says an initiative to support windbreaks and other green infrastructure on Kansas farms is much needed in light of recent data indicating that more than half of the windbreaks in the state are in fair to poor condition. The most recent inventory of windbreaks in the Great Plains, which was completed in 2019, indicate windbreaks throughout the region are deteriorating. The report available online for the Kansas Forest Service. And in the 30s, at the height of the Dust Bowl, the federal government invested $13.8 million to establish more than 200 million trees and shrubs and windbreaks throughout the Great Plains. Today, this green infrastructure exceeds 80 years of age and is in a state of age and climate-related decline. You know, there are more than 118,000 windbreaks in Kansas, comprising 261,000 acres, stretching 31,348 miles. That's enough to cross the state east to west more than 76 times. However, the average windbreak in Kansas only takes up a little more than a couple acres and is generally around 1,500 feet in length. The great benefit of windbreaks is to extend protection beyond their footprint, which is a distance and the area of at least 10 times their height on a leeward side and 2 times the height on the windward side. In Kansas, that's up to about 1 million acres, which windbreaks provide protection to livestock, croplands, and farms. You can find more ag news at agview.net. We'll be right back.
The Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
And we're pleased to be joined now by the Undersecretary for USDA Rural Development. I'm going to try my best to get this name right. Xochitl Torres Small. Did I come
pretty
close?
Good. That's
okay.
pretty good. Yeah, you can always call me Soch.
We'll try, but it's great. But that aside, USDA rural development impacts so many people, especially with our viewers, and there's so many programs. What has been maybe the biggest challenge as you've taken on all this?
Well, it's so exciting to get to serve as Undersecretary of Rural Development and to identify across rural America and its diversity, what are the ways that we best invest in the infrastructure that these people and communities need in order to turn that into opportunity. Because we all know that when rural America succeeds, all of America succeeds.
So with that, we all know over the last 18, 20, 22 months, we as all Americans have come into challenges. The federal government has tried to be there to help, and one of those maybe guiding forces is USDA, and then through the rural development programs. You have a lot of programs, but there's also a lot of other monies. How do you see that all kind of playing together?
Well, you talk about the challenges. I think a key example of that is broadband. In the midst of COVID-19, people needed good, reliable internet to do their job, to do their homework, and to make sure that they're connected to the outside world, sometimes even getting health care on their electronically. Now, in rural communities, if you don't have internet, you can't do that work. And so it's crucial that we're leveraging all of the funds, whether it's coming to rural development or other programs for broadband, that we're getting that last mile. And we have good experience working with the people on the ground to help make that happen so that kids don't have to feel like they're worth less because they have to do their homework from a parking lot instead of at their home.
Speaking of homes, that's another huge challenge. Doesn't matter what size of community or where you're located, people are looking for answers. And one of those is some of the programs through rural development to not only rehab, but maybe new construction.
That is so true. Affordable housing. In COVID-19, people learned what rural people knew all along, is that it's hard to find affordable housing in rural places. And so rural development can be a key partner there, whether it's multifamily housing or whether it's getting your first ever mortgage through the self-help program, or whether it's the repair. If you've got weatherization needs, especially as we head into the winter, making sure that your home is ready to stay warm.
We're talking with I knew I would get this. I'm going to do this right, though. Xochitl Torres Small. She's the Undersecretary for Rural Development, USDA. We're going to take a break, come back with more in just a moment.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and LibertyLink that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Livestock Association. supporting members' business interests and meeting consumer demands. KLA.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. And Kansas Corn, building the future at kansascorn.com.
We are joined by Xochitl Torres Small. There we go, we got that. She is the Undersecretary for USDA Rural Development and fairly new to the job, but we finally got that all taken care of. So we're visiting with her in Kansas City with the farm broadcasters. So as we continue, the excitement you bring, I think, could be infectious, and that, to have that passion in it and kind of your background, you kind of bring some of that. You come from a western state, and so, but you also have that broad perspective. So a couple of things we want to touch on, and one, the other critical issue, I think almost every issue is critical, that being healthcare, rural healthcare, making sure that folks have access.
As we talk about opportunity where you live, healthcare is crucial to living a happy, healthy life. And especially as we see just so many senior citizens living in rural areas, they shouldn't have to drive hours just for their doctor's appointment. And that's why rural development is working, and I'm proud to be working in the Biden-Harris administration with the leadership of Secretary Vilsack to invest in community health facilities closer to home, and also supporting critical access hospitals, many of which were on the verge of closure even before COVID-19, but providing that crucial support so that they can keep reaching people in rural areas.
One thing I think that sometimes gets lost, but as we were talking off the air, we do want to talk about, we have a lot of small communities in Kansas and in other rural areas especially. Maybe they're incorporated, maybe there's only a couple hundred people, maybe everybody's volunteer there, but there are some government programs that can help. Maybe they need, water lines or a system of some sort, or just simply a grant. Are there things within USDA Rural Development to help those really small communities that want to remain a vibrant part of folks' lives?
I know I'm in a rural community when I'm talking to someone who wears 5 different hats depending on the time of day. They may be volunteering for the emergency services, a volunteer firefighter, for example. They may be the local mayor while also being a small business owner. And so there just is, it's tough to make sure that they're looking at rural development as a partner and identifying how to do a water system, which can be really complicated. So rural development does have technical assistance opportunities to work more with communities to identify what grant or loan program might work for them. And in this next infrastructure with the Build Back Better agenda, working to invest in that capacity on the ground, supporting community partners who can help navigate some of those tough processes, I think will be crucial not just for rural communities today, but into the future to build that capacity.
Now, all these things we talked about, best way probably to do is go to the website and go through all these different things.
Absolutely, and you can find us at rd.usda.gov.
Very good. Well, great to meet you. Good luck. Thanks.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Xochitl Torres Small,
You got it.
Deputy Secretary for Rural Development, right? Undersecretary. Make you get that title is important. Undersecretary for USDA Rural Development has joined us. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
What if sustainability were synonymous with U.S. soy? If energy efficiency, water quality, and soil health help define U.S. soy's value, that future is here, the time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is committing to sustainability that's achievable, worthwhile, and enduring. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
As you know, Kansas Corn has a very active education program focused on STEM learning. So using science to talk about the areas of corn, biotechnology, ethanol, and more. One of our newest offerings for our schools are these readers that we are providing to school districts. And basically what you can do is subscribe to these as a teacher, bring them into their classroom, and each kid gets a copy of it. A great opportunity to learn more about corn and soils, water, and the history of corn as well. So it's a great tool and a lot of fun for the kids to go through these readers. You can learn more at kansascornstem.com.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
With 60 years of service to the industry, Don Landau from Marshall County is a recipient of this year's Distinguished Service Award. His passion for agriculture started while in high school, where he was an active member of his FFA chapter and taught the welding class while he was a student. In 1963, Don founded Landau Company, LLC in Marysville. What started as a small blacksmith welding shop has now evolved into a leading agricultural and industrial manufacturing company that employs more than 900 people across the region. His success in manufacturing has led to numerous local and national awards. He served as president of the Farm Equipment Manufacturers Association of America and was awarded the National Small Business Prime Contractor of the Year Award from the Small Business Association. Don is a strong supporter of his community and is a financial contributor to the local, state, and national FFA organizations. He has contributed funds to the Marysville Library and supported major renovations to the KMYZ Airport. He served on the Kansas Health Foundation and on the Transportation 2000 board, which led to getting a major overpass and airport expansion for Marysville. Recently, Don committed $1 million to help construct an agricultural education facility at his local school district. Investing in the future of the ag industry and serving his state and community has been the legacy of Don Landau for 60 years. Thank you, Don, for your commitment to agriculture in Kansas.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and LibertyLink that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
2021 was a meaningful year for grain sorghum that welcomed great international demand for U.S. growers' premium quality crops, as detailed by our partners at the U.S. Grains Council. Top buyers for U.S. sorghum in 2021 included China at 267 million bushels, Sudan with 2.8 million bushels, as well as Mexico and Eritrea purchasing about 2.4 million sorghum bushels last year. And you can see the economics at work from that demand in the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission's 2021 annual report. That annual report is a snapshot of the Kansas sorghum industry, containing information on production, markets, and average farm price for sorghum at $5.85 per bushel last year. And with its focus always on farmers, the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission will meet again for its winter 2022 board meeting on Thursday, January 27th in Salina, Kansas. And don't miss registration for the free Kansas Commodity Classic, to be held the next day in Salina with noteworthy guest speakers covering topics from markets to climate trends. Registration is still open at kansascommodityclassic.com. So come join the conversation and be a part of the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission as we look to the promising future for the crop throughout the region. Through its vision to drive value for producers by positioning sorghum as a sustainable, reliable, and profitable crop through its responsible investment, the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission is committed to sorghum promotion, research, and information designed to strengthen, expand, and develop new foreign and domestic markets for sorghum growers. Reporting for Kansas Grain Sorghum, this is Adam York.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Kansas farmers once again proved how informed management can maximize yield potential year in and year out during the 2021 National Wheat Yield Contest. National and state winners were recently announced by the National Wheat Foundation, which organizes the competition. According to Justin Gilpin, Kansas Wheat CEO, the National Wheat Yield Contest encourages growers to maximize the management of their wheat crop to improve wheat yields and quality. Kansas wheat producers continually demonstrate they are up to the challenge by adopting new practices that utilize the full potential of top-of-the-line wheat genetics. This year's contest included 63 wheat growers from 20 different states, offering producers a chance to compete against their counterparts from across the country and learn how to better improve their production. The contest was split into winter wheat and spring wheat, and then further divided into dryland and irrigated production. In the dryland winter wheat category, Tyler Ediger from Meade took the top Kansas slot with a final yield of 125.66 bushels per acre. The entry also earned him the 5th place Binbuster Award in the National Winter Wheat Dryland category. Darwin Ediger, Tyler's father, was the 2nd place Kansas winner with a final yield of 123.48 bushels per acre. 3rd place went to Matt Jager from Mineola with a final yield of 122.47 bushels per acre. The entry also won him 5th place nationally based on the percent increase over the county average. For more details on the winning entries and to review the official rules and entry details, visit yieldcontest.wheatfoundation.org.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Imagine turning soybean oil, used cooking oils, and waste animal fats into fuel so amazing it drives U.S. jobs and our economy forward. Learn more about biodiesel at americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
The 2022 KLA Young Stockman's Academy class will be made up of 20 young producers from across the state. Merck Animal Health is the exclusive sponsor. Each year, the program consists of 4 seminars that expose YSA members to the importance of KLA's voice in the legislative process, producers' responsibility as agricultural advocates, the need for progressive livestock operations, and how other industry segments, including animal health suppliers and agribusinesses, fit into the food chain. The class also will participate in KLA's policymaking process. Their first meeting will be February 15th through the 16th in Topeka. Members of the 2022 KLA YSA class are David Allen of Tribune, Peyton Barrett of Grantville, Cece Blythe from White City, Maggie Breakville of Manhattan, Mary Kate Crouch of Scott City, Kyle Cure from Cimarron, Mitchell Dewar of Onega, Dakota Ferguson of Williamsburg, Blaze Fountain from McPherson, Brandon Frederick of Hutchinson, Grant Glazer of Marion, Dylan Hamilton from Sublette, Michael Olson of Olsburg, Spencer Paul from Manhattan, Shelby Schultz of El Dorado, Nathan Smith of Pratt, Isa Summer from Cimarron, Tyler Wells from Great Bend, Ethan Wilkie of Scott City, and Christina Zerger of Cheney.
What if sustainability were synonymous with U.S. soy? If energy efficiency, water quality, and soil health help define U.S. soy's value, that future is here, the time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is committing to sustainability that's achievable, worthwhile, and enduring. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
Good day. I'm Derek Hermish with Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom. Volatile grain markets are the new normal, it seems. The good thing about true volatility is that it creates much more opportunity than flat markets. However, your opportunity to experience regret is much greater as well. For example, say you sell your soybeans on a 50-cent rally only to watch it go up another $1 the next week after you sell. Can you be happy about selling into the initial rally, or are you going to focus on what you missed out on? Regret should be the least of your concerns when it comes to marketing, but it can rear its ugly head in these environments and negatively affect decisions down the road. Selling your grain at profitable levels is the key. That's what you're always told. But it's never that simple. It is true that you will not go broke selling for a profit, but you're not in the business of making widgets for $1 and selling them for $2. Volatile markets provide opportunity, but they also provide opportunity cost. If you make a decision that nets you 50 cents less on average for your grain than your fellow neighboring farmers, nobody is going to offer you a discount on fertilizer or seed or equipment repairs to help you make up for it. Quite the opposite, as we've seen recently with inputs going higher. There are options, literally, that can be very useful in volatile markets. Yes, I am referring to puts and calls. I know there are many of you out there that are not fans of options. I talk to you quite frequently, and sometimes I agree with you. But in my experience, this is the environment to utilize them. If you'd like to visit with us about it, give us a call at 888-452-8751. I'm Derek Hermish. Have a good day.
That's our show this week. More at KansasAgReport.net or our social media channels. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Are you looking for Medicare supplement insurance plans? Now is a good time to look at your options with Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans. A Medicare supplement insurance plan can help cover certain out-of-pocket expenses Medicare doesn't cover. Things like deductibles, co-insurance, and certain limitations that can be costly in the event of an accident or illness. With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you have options to Medicare supplement insurance plans with 4 levels of affordable coverage and service from an organization known for its commitment serving Kansans. We encourage you to compare our rates. For more information and to get a quote, contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you or visit kfbhealthplans.com. Medicare supplements insured by Members Health Insurance Company, Columbia, Tennessee. Not connected with or endorsed by the U.S. or state government.